Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good day to everybody. This is the recording for our subject CPB1022 Public Speaking. So today we will talk about topic number 12, Great Public Speaking Figures. So the expected outcomes of the topic, among others, are at the end of the lecture, at the end of the topic, you should be able to list or to remember who are some of the great public speaking figures in several fields of our life. Number 2, you should be able to explain what are some of the what are some of the characteristics of great public speaking figures as shown by them, based on their expertise, based on their fields, based on their careers, and so on. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, let us start with the components of great oratory. Great oratory, based on the evidences, based on the performance being shown by great orators all around the world, most of them, or I can say all of them, have three components of style, substance, and also impact. Right, I repeat, most of the great orators, or maybe all of the great orators, have these three components of style, substance, and also impact. Let us look into the first component, which is style. Style is related to the way how an orator presents himself, the way how an orator presents his feeling, his emotion, and most importantly, his information of what he wants to share with the spectators or the audience. A great speech must be masterfully constructed. The best orators are masters of both the written and spoken word, and use words to create texts that are beautiful to both hear and also read. So this is style. Right? A person is not only capable of writing a very beautiful kind of passages, but he or she is also capable of delivering it to capture the attention of the audience through their ears, and also through their eyes, the way how a person presenting his public speaking. The second component is substance. A speech may be flowery and charismatically presented, and yet lack any true substance at all. Great oratory must center on a worthy theme. It must appeal to and inspire the audience's finest values and also ideals. We have discussed about this conception of substance in our previous lectures. So I hope that you can review whatever we have discussed in our previous weeks. And the third component of a great oratory is impact. So great oratory always seeks to persuade the audience of some fact, information, or idea. The very best speeches change hearts and change minds and seem as revelatory several decades or centuries removed as when they were first given. So it remains longer if we call it as having impact. It can change the way of thinking of the audience. It can change the behavior of the audience right after a great oratory been delivered by an orator. So this is what we call as impact. Next, I would like to share 9 scientifically proven characteristics of great public speakers or orators. Among others, we also had discussed about it, but I just want to share with you again. Alright, number 1 is confidence. The level of confidence must be good, not necessarily only to new public speaker, but also to those who had done this day to day, or what we call as the great public speakers. They also need this confidence. It's been built from time to time, but somehow or other, in different occasion, confidence can be low, whether or not a person is great public speakers. The second one is passion. Great public speakers, they always have passion, especially if it's related to their objectives, their aims, their background, or their career. The third characteristic of great public speaker, proven scientifically, is to be yourself. You cannot have that plastic face, poker face, not showing yourself and so on, but be yourself. The fourth characteristic is the capability of using voice modulations. You can associate high note, high tone, low note. The pace of the words that you use, the pace of sentences that you use. This is what we call as voice modulations. So the characteristic of great public speakers, they know when to use different kind of voice, different kind of pace, different kind of speed of words that they use in their speeches. Next is to keep it short and also sweet. To keep it short and sweet. Next is connect with your audience. We cannot leave the audience feel blurred, lost in our speech. So the capability of connecting with the audience all the time in a speech is one of the main characteristics of great public speakers. And then great public speakers, they also have the capacity, the capability of painting a picture through storytelling, through anecdotes, through experience sharing in their speech. And then repetition. Okay, some of the great public speakers, they repeat important parts in the whole session of his or her speech, so that the audience feel that they have good guidance. They are not lost, okay, in the intersections of the public speaking session. Okay, so we know that out there, when we talk about great public speakers, in our mind, we will think of somebody, we will think of someone. Who is our idol in public speaking? Who are our idols as a public speaker? So as a Muslim, for sure, we will put in our mind that the best idol or the best public speaker must be Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, it is undeniable. the fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam know how to negotiate with others, know how to preach others, know how to speak to others with good kind of emotion, feeling, facial reflection and so on. We know that he is the best public speaker in our life. But other than Rasulullah SAW, especially the contemporary public speakers that we know, among those people are the leaders, the marketeers, okay, those who selling things, okay, they appear in front of others, in front of a group of audience, then they deliver their speech so that the audience will buy their products and services. And just now when we talk about leaders, it's like nowadays those who want to be a leader, they need to have the capacity and capability of delivering speech to be a good public speaker. And then among those great public speakers are businessmen. Some of them are artists, alright, and then preachers and also da'is. We cross, okay, sorry, some of the names cross in our minds now, alright. And then politicians, for sure, they give a lot of promises. They try to convince their followers, the people, the rakyat, to support him or her. And then negotiators, okay, without good public speaking skill, negotiators will lost in their negotiation. And for sure, motivators, and those who want to uplift the level of happiness, the level of confidence, the level of motivation among others. So if they want to call themselves as motivators, they need to have public speaking skill, and it's shown by some of the motivators out there that they are very good in terms of being an orator. Now, I just want to bring into the discussion today related to this topic, great orators or great public speakers. I just took some examples, some figures, and you can have your own chance to browse more about these figures, but I just want to share with you how great they are, right? Their background and so on, until the whole world know them, the whole world recognize them as among the great orators or public speakers. Number one, Nick Vujicic. Am I spelling his name right? So Nick is a motivator. Okay, Nick is a motivator. He was born on 1982 in Melbourne, Australia, the place where I did my PhD. And then Nick was born with what we call as tetra amelia syndrome, a very rare disorder whereby someone is born with an absence of all four limbs. It's been told that when he was born, his mother cannot accept the fact that he is what we call as a baby with physical disorder. Right? But after some times, her mother accepted the fact that this is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So after his mother showed him a newspaper article, it was said that after his mother showed him a newspaper article about a woman praying with a severe disability when he was 17, so Nick started to give talks at his prayer group. So Nick graduated from Griffith University at the age of 21 with a Bachelor of Commerce degree with a double major in accountancy and financial planning. I'm not having the interest of telling the background of Nick, okay, but I just want to share with you that he is one of the great motivators out there. Okay, when in 2005 he founded a non-profit organization called Life Without Limbs. All right, and in 2007, he founded Attitude is Altitude, a secular motivational speaking company. So he has his own page in YouTube, so you can browse for yourselves. In each of his speeches, in each of his video clips, he's shown his great capability as a motivator. Okay, you can have a browse later, all right, and look into the way how he deliver his speech until the world recognize him as one of the greatest motivators currently. All right. Okay, next is Aung San Tsuchi. She is a human rights icon, but because of the Rohingya refugees, okay, she's not really a human rights icon for me. But I still believe that the world recognize her as one of the greatest orators. All right. So Aung San Suu Kyi is a Burmese politician, diplomat, author, and a 1991 Nobel Peace Prize laureate because of her human rights effort. She's the first and incumbent state councillor of Myanmar. She's also the leader of the National League for Democracy and played a vital role in the state's transition from military junta to partial democracy. So I hope that you can browse some of her speeches, okay, in YouTube, and you can find that she narrates the idea that her country, especially her country, need to put forth the focus on human right. But there are some comments, okay, based on the fact that she is not really keen to save the conception of human right among the Rohingya. But you can have your own idea, you can have your own opinion and so on. But for me, I recognize her as one of the icon for oratory world, right? In oratory world. Okay, next is Dr. Zakir Naik. He is a preacher. He's from India. So Dr. Zakir Naik is an Indian Islamic televangelist and preacher. He's also a medical physician through expert training. Dr. Zakir Naik is renowned as a dynamic worldview orator on Islam and comparative religion. So Dr. Zakir Naik is the founder and president of the Islamic Research Foundation, IRF, and Peace TV network, known as the largest religious satellite channel network in the world. Dr. Zakir Naik clarifies Islamic viewpoints and clears misconceptions about Islam using the Quran, authentic hadith, and different religious scriptures as a basis in conjunction with reason, logic, and scientific facts. He is popular for his imperative evaluation and convincing solutions to challenging questions posed through audiences after his public talks. What can I say? Okay, among us, the Malaysian society, especially the Muslim Malaysian society, we know that Dr. Zakir Naik has his ups and downs in his preaching movement. But for me and for most of the Islamic scholars, we believe that Dr. Zakir Naik is one of the good examples, okay, one of the good examples of preaching, okay, da'wah, to ask others to know more about Islam positively and so on. Next, okay, based on my readings on some references, okay, Adolf Hitler is also known as one of the best orators. How can we neglect this fact, okay, since Adolf Hitler is one of the historic politicians, okay, in the world, alright? So So he was a German politician and leader of the Nazi party. He rose to power as the Chancellor of Germany in 1933 and then as a Führer in 1934. So during his dictatorship from 1933 to 1945, Adolf Hitler initiated World War II in Europe by invading Poland on September 1939. So to read more about Adolf Hitler and his capacity as a natural orator, a born natural orator, you can read this article via the URL address that I shared here in this page. Okay. Alright, next. I'm not sure whether you know Oprah Winfrey. Okay, so she is a host and also an entertainer. Oprah Gail Winfrey is an American talk show host, television producer, actress, author, and also philanthropist. Oprah is best known for her talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, broadcast from Chicago, which was the highest rated television program of its kind in history, and ran in national syndication for 25 years from 1996 to 2011. Okay, for me, it's not only in America, but also in any other countries in the whole globe. So she dubbed the queen of all media. Oprah Winfrey was the richest African American of the 20th century and North America's first black multi-billionaire. And she has been ranked the greatest black philanthropist in American history. And by 2007, Oprah was sometimes ranked as the most influential woman in the world. So you can read about her, you can view her in YouTube easily, right? And you can see how interesting Oprah handled her talk show, the Oprah Winfrey Show. Alright. Now we move on to local orators, local great orators. I just want to pick up one of them, which is Shamsul Debat, or Shamsul Amri bin Ismail. He wants to know, the public know that he is a motivator. So Mr. Shamsul Amri bin Ismail, or Shamsul Debat, is a preacher and also a TV personality. He's known with his humorous but full with Islamic messages and motivation essence. He appears in many television shows, forums, and others. Shamsul Debat is currently the president for Pertubuhan Alumni Debat Malaysia, or ADAM, which is active in series of motivational talks and also community services. You can browse about him in his YouTube channel, okay, and I shared it through the link, okay, here in this page. So guys, I also shared here some good sources about great orators or other great speakers. Okay, you can have a look by yourselves. And there are many more links that you can browse by yourselves to look into different kind of orators with different kind of styles, different kind of substance, different kinds of impacts that they try to show, they try to share with the whole world. So which of those people or which of those great orators that you think you want to follow in terms of the way, the style, in terms of the impact that they show, okay, in their speech and so on. So it is up to you. Okay, with that, thank you very much, and I hope that you get something from this video presentation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.